have all the power to change our world. We have the power to destroy it, and the power to rebuild it. Since the beginning of time, people have been doing everything to make the world better. Better in what sense? To make it conform to their needs and to their wants. They changed this planet to make it better suited for them. That is not a good thing altogether. We can do all good things if we know what is good for us. But do we know what is good for us? Many of us don't. What is good for this generation is not necessarily good for the future ones. Take, for example, the current population of today. In the 1950s, humans numbered at around 2.5 billion. Today, we are almost 7 billion people. The rate of growth of population in the past half-century has been the highest in the history of mankind. Overpopulation has often been the root of countless problems, such as scarcity of food and water, destruction of wildlife, pollution, unemployment, and criminality. Other problems we are facing today are social issues like drug abuse and child trafficking. Let's take these pressing concerns one by one. The earth was perfect the way it was created. It was perfect for all living things. However, because of greed and selfishness, humans have destroyed animal and plant life, degraded our environment, and overconsumed its natural resources. What we have done to this planet raises these questions. Do we really love our children? Do we want to bequeath in a world that is not fit to live in? 50 years from now, what kind of planet will they be living in? Today's environmental conditions have brought about increased frequency and intensity of natural disasters. Incidents like floods and landslides increased because of deforestation. Global warming, because of the high concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, has brought about heat waves, storm surges, and sea level rise, just to name a few. In the end, people suffer the effects. Famine has been experienced by many people, most recently in Africa. How can a continent so rich in natural resources suffer severe shortages of food? The situation in some parts of Africa is so grotesque that it makes one wonder how the human race can let some people die of want while others immerse in overconsumption. Government support then is very important in agriculture. Here in the Philippines, agricultural lands are being converted into subdivisions. In South America, forests have been wiped out to give way to human settlements. Wetlands and mangroves are being converted into fish ponds. This reckless disregard for the immediate and long-term ecological effects has been happening for too long, and right before our very eyes. According to some environmentalists, a rainforest once destroyed can never be replaced. Its unique and fragile ecological symbiosis is lost forever. Drug abuse is a social disease that kills the very fabric of society. Laws are even inadequate to combat this social cancer. Its victims are mostly the youth, who, because of their fragile mental and psychological state, are easily being swayed and pressured into vices. Parents are even unaware of their children's problems and confusions. We all have to accept that these problems are real and serious. Education, support, and love for children are the key. Child trafficking for prostitution, forced labor, forced marriages, and other forms of slavery are bigger problems than what most people think. Children are being exploited to prostitution in many parts of the world, most especially in third world countries where there are many homeless children. According to UNICEF and some estimates that there are about 1.2 million children who are being trafficked every year. These kids are being kidnapped and sold to prostitution. Others are taken for adoption, only to be sold. These large-scale problems can be remedied by small-scale solutions. But what can some common people do to help? First, Let us be involved. Find out what's going on in our country, in our city, and in our community. Find out what our government officials are doing and demand that they do their jobs properly. Second, let us all curb our selfishness. Let us not take more than what we need from this planet. Let us not cut off trees and burn our garbage. Let us not kill wild animals, not even for food. Third, let us all obey the law. Let us all be honest and fair. Fourth, let us all respect others. Let us all try to be considerate. And fifth, let us choose our leaders carefully. Let us not sell our dignity and the future of our world. There are more and more ways to help, only if we care enough. Let us be the change we want to see. We hold in our hands the future of our children. The challenge is for us to change. We cannot change and make the world better for our children if we continue to be indifferent and insensitive. Let us take part in solving the effects of our greed and selfishness and restore Mother Earth's fragile and caring balance. And now, are you willing to start change?